Good people, we are back. And as we said, we want to talk about string formatting. Now, so what we mean by string formatting is where instead of an output from the code being just a string, we allow placeholders for expressions, so that when the output is being printed, the program can execute the string as well as with the other expression. So basically, what I'm talking about here is okay. What we're trying to cover here is we're trying to talk about f strings. Yeah, basically the formatted string literals. So what happens is, in an output of a program, we normally have expressions such as variables and other calculations as part of the output text. So formatted string literal. This is basically f string. Allows a programmer create a string with placeholder expressions. I hope you had seen this initially in our programming that we'll be using f strings. So basically, we create a placeholder expression that evaluates as the program executes. I hope you've seen this in our previous executions, despite despite us not having covered this, but this is exactly what has been happening. That instance whereby you use an f, meaning an f string, and then you input text and add expressions inside it using curly braces. We'll do an example shortly. So basically, an f string starts with an f string starts for an f string. Basically, f string meaning a formatted string or a formatted string literal. We have the opening, the speech marks, and then we have the curly braces, right? So we have the curly braces before the word we want to, before the placeholder expression. The placeholder expression goes here, and our f string, we do an f string. Then we have the statements going here. Then we have the curly braces inside it. So we'll have it looking like this. Yeah. So we'll have it looking like that. Basically, a placeholder expression is also called a replacement field. What comes here is also known as a replacement field. So replacement field is what is contained in the curly braces, right? So it's a placeholder expression. I'll give an example. Let me create a. Okay, let me just. Okay, I'll use lists. No, let me just create a string. So I'll say formatted.py. Now, so we'll do. Let's say we want to do is equals to 5 and that's equals to 2. So we have variable names, oranges having 5 and bananas having 2. So we have assigned the variable name. We have assigned oranges to 5 and bananas to 2. So we'll want to print. So initially we do print sorry, so let's say you want to do sum is equals to oranges, addition sign, balance, right? So we want to print we want to print sum, right? So when we print sum, let's do string, and we do we see just a 7 here, right? So let's now format a string. Let's now format our output and add strings. So we've said we'll have first we'll have an F and the speech marks, right? That's the first thing we'll have. So we'll use, so that's now when where our output goes. So we'll say the sum of, then we pass the placeholder oranges, right? So sum of 5 oranges, right? And we pass the number of bananas here. So we'll say sum of bananas is, and bananas trying to we can do a break here. Is this one trigger for class here? I'll check that. Let's finish this fast. Let's pass the placeholder here. So when we do a print of this, we'll see the placeholders being replaced with a So okay, the reason why we have an error is we did end our end should be that. So right now we say the sum of 5 oranges and 2 bananas is 7. Basically, we've passed the placeholder here, placeholder expression here, and we have the formatted string, basically an F. Then we'll pass the curly braces, and curly braces. I hope that's clear on the formatted string, and we've seen how we've been able to format the string. Formatting the string, having the curly braces as placeholders of what we have in the variable names here. As well, we can ask for user input here, and then we ask for user input here, so that we don't have so that we can have different numbers being entered for each sum. Having said that, I guess you're on the same page on the format example now. So basically we can do 3 plus 1.25, and then we know how to pass the literals. Yeah, so when we add we have something called additional f-string features. Like what does the additional f-string feature? So an is equals to sign is provided after the expression in a replacement field to print both the expression and its result. Okay, let me try enter. So we have something called additional f-string features. Basically, what we mean by this is what we can add to the f-string, and then basically it's like a shortcut. Basically, what we add to the f-string to, for example, a shortcut. So an example here, we're going to do an f sign. So what happens when you add an F sign, when you add an equal sign, add an equal sign, sign to an F string format. What does it do? It prints both the expression and its result. Oh, that's clear. Basically, when you add an equal sign, it prints both the expression and its result. So when you want to debug, that's when that comes in. Another thing is additional double curly braces, such how this looks. So this is one, and you've seen what it does. Yeah, and then you can have this as two. And basically these are used to place when you want to have a curly brace. Basically, what we think. If you want to have a curly brace, in an F string. So we're going to do examples to cover what we just explained. So we'll go back to our strings, then we'll do. So first, let's do the one for. I'll call it sum. And so we'll do. Let's print. I want us to see where the is equal to sign comes in. So we'll do a print of using F string because we're doing F string. We're formatting a string. Then we do the curly brace as we just said. Then we now pass the two. Let's use 3. If you remember what we said the double star means it's like 3 raised to 3, right? So now when you put an equal to sign here, right? We put an equal to sign here. The print should be enough. And this equals print is just the single, not the is the yeah. So let's run this sum. We see if we actually get. So you see, we get the expression and the result, right? So as we said initially, 3. So this sign, basically, our output from using an equals sign here, as we said here, it prints both the expression and the result. So basically, the result of 3 cubed is 3 cubed is sorry 3 cubed is the result of 3 cubed is 27. As we said last time, when we use a star, we mean multiply. So we multiply, basically 2 multiplication signs means 3 raised to 3. So if we want 3 squared, we'll do this 3 raised to 2. So that will be 3 raised to 2, right? I hope we did that last time, which is 9. So I hope that's clear. Another thing we've said is when we want to have a curly braces, right? We want to have a curly brace here, right? So we want to have a curly brace. You'll use the double curly brace. Basically we can add curly brace here and another one here. If you want to have it in a curly brace in your output, so our output will have the curly brace. Just as we now have the output with the curly brace because we have double curly braces there. as we said here. I hope that example is clear on how we able to do how we able to do additional features for the F string, not just the F alone. And then the normal way, how we able to add a equal to sign, which prints the expression and the result. Now we're able to add a curly brace to the result. How that's clear. So how do okay? Let's talk about specifications or formatting. Specifications of formatting. Now we're talking about formatting a string. Specifications of F string. So basically, what we're trying to talk about here is we want to allow a values formatting in the string to be customized. Basically, customize, basically customize value. Let me just have it in order. We want to allow a values formatting in the string to be customized. I hope that's clear. Allows values formatting in the string. Yeah, I hope that's clear. I'm just trying to, for example, if you're using a format specification, a variable with an integer value 4, right? So you have a variable with an integer value of 4. Let's say we have a fruit, no, banana. So here we have a variable banana with an integer value of 4. Yeah. So this can be output as a floating point number 4.0, right? We can do a floating point output as a 4.0 with the leading zeros 004, right? And aligned to the left or right. Oh, that's clear. Basically, we can have, despite having this as 4, we can have we can format this to have a float of 4, and we can either have 004 or okay, whichever way you want to format it, we can format it to any floating point notation. I hope that's clear. How we can do an example of how we can do a format specification. So a format specification, basically what I mean is okay, let me try. First, this is an integer, right? So we can print out this. You can have this output as a floating point, and then we can have it to any number of floating point. We have either 2, 3, 4. Basically, by introducing I hope we remember the way we were doing the floating point notation, whereby we use a full colon and the number of floating point. We want to have 2 zeros. We want to have 4.00. We'll use 2 floating point 2f, so it will be full colon and a 2f. Okay, I'll show that example as we go along. So how we do the formatting here is we'll have a float, and then we'll use 4 full colon and 2f to have to have 2 zeros. If we want 3, if we want 4, and that's how we're able to format an integer. Another okay, so basically we use the full colon in the replacement field. So the colon separates what on the left from the how on the right. Right? I hope that's clear. The left what side is what expressions to be valued. So we'll have the right and the left. Basically the full colon, and I will say 2f, 3f, right? 3f. Basically that's how we do a floating point notation. So we'd have the number of the integers we want from the floating point. Now, so we'd have some common format specification. What these are? So we'd have a thing like a type S. Basically, it's a string. Default present type can be omitted. So I think like basically on we are outputting an output which has a string. We can have a full colon S, which just shows it's a string. It will output the string. I want it to be a string. Now we'd have another. So we'd have the description being this being a string, right? Then we'll have a D being a decimal. Basically, we'll output full colon D. Then it will output the decimal place, if it's 0, 1, 2, and the likes. We'll have a B being a binary. E exponential notation. And so forth. We have other different format specification. But I hope you've understood how we are able to do the floating point of a banana from an integer. Okay, we had done that initially, but I hope my explanation has been a bit clearer, because we are talking about formatting of strings. So I hope our explanation for string formatting is clear, and we've been able to understand and see how we're able to use it and where we're able to do that, and the examples we've done so far. I hope their output is clear. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I guess we're done right now with the types. So we're going to start in our next lesson. We're going to start about the if statements, the loops. So let's meet then. Have a good one. In case you have any questions, let me know. Share with me. Let's meet the next one. Happy coding.